Hi, I'm Stella and welcome to my channel, and this time around we are talking about The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart by Holly Ringland, a book that's a few years old, but I'm going to talk about it today because it's trending, because the brilliant Sigourney Weaver is in Australia filming the miniseries. My channel is 30 Books, where I talk about Australian books to encourage you to go out and buy, borrow, download, not steal, maybe beg, an Australian book for you to read. A little bit of an audio description before we start. I'm standing in front of a green bookshelf full of colour-coded books. To my right is a medium-sized pot plant with big green leaves. There is a green and gold cane painting. Also to my right, to my left, is a glass door. I am wearing a black dress and it's got pink and green swirls all over it. I'm wearing my big blue glasses, red lipstick and a skull ring in homage to Halloween. No Halloween books this time around. So let's get cracking onto the book. What a blockbuster this book has been, and more power to her. It's the story of Alice Hart. I think most people know what the plot of the story is, but so I'll give it to you very quickly. She loses both her parents and goes to stay with a grandmother that she actually didn't know. So Alice at the time is 9 years old. She moves away from the cane fields and the coast to go and stay with her grandmother's flower farm. Now on that flower farm are all these women who work on the flower farm, and it's about learning, like at the time she can't speak, like she's traumatized. It's the learning language through flowers and the way flowers tell a story. It's actually a story about domestic violence, and because all the women who work on the farm in one form of another have experienced domestic violence. I was a bit mistaken by this book because the name and the title of the book, you know, Lost Flowers, the beautiful cover with, you know, white writing, white swirly writing and all flowers, and even her name, Holly Ringland. But it is a book about domestic violence. It's not the book I thought it was going to be. I would call this commercial women's fiction. It is, and that's what I call it, and I don't think that's a snobbery thing at all. I don't think commercial women's fiction is given enough credence, and the reason that I love this, and I am calling it commercial women's fiction, because it's the style of writing, but also this book is just all about women. And women are front and centre, and it's women's stories, and it's also a book of hope, which I think commercial women's fiction does really well. It rarely ends in tragedy, but they're not trite in any description at all. And it brings up such powerful, commercial women's fiction does this thing that it brings up the most powerful subject matters. That's what caught me unaware. As soon as I sort of started reading, I thought, oh, I know what genre I'm reading. But the content, I was like, okay, this is not what I was expecting at all. And I just think it's a powerful and brave novel, and it talks about domestic violence in a way, like there are scenes that are quite shocking, but it talks about it in a way that makes it totally relatable and understandable, like it's accessible. And I know that this might sound a little strange. The other beautiful thing about this, it's also a story about secrets and lies and family and finding the truth. The beautiful thing about this is the attention to detail. I mean, Holly Ringland must have done so much research or knows a lot about flowers. There's also parts about trees. Every chapter begins with a flower or tree description. So, and it's kind of a little breadcrumb about what might happen in the chapter. So for Example, chapter 14, River Red Gum, meaning enchantment, and then it has its genus, which I'm not going to try and pronounce, all states and territories. It's the iconic Australian tree, smooth bark sheds in long ribbons, has a large dense crown of leaves, has the ominous nickname Widowmaker, as it often drops large boughs without warning. So something is going to happen without warning in chapter 14. So that's The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart by Holly Ringland. Now, I bought my copy for $2.99 from an opshop. And what do you think about buying books from an opshop? So I have been having conversations with writers about this very subject, and that's what I'll be talking about in an upcoming video. And in the meantime, I'd like to just have a quick chat about the fact that Sigourney Weaver is in Australia filming this series, and I just think that is brilliant for Australian writers, and go Holly Ringland. But it just shows how this book has captured people's attention, and I'm so glad it's going to be a series, because I think it deserves that, because it might look small but it's actually a really big book. I'm curious to know why Sigourney Weaver. Obviously, is it an American production company? Could they not find an Australian actress to play the grandmother? I'm a bit curious about that, but I'm really looking forward to it. I love Sigourney Weaver. I thought this book it won't be for everyone. I particularly, I can see why it's so popular, and it's kind of an important book as well. And that is your 30 books for this time around. Let me know what you think in your comments below, and stay tuned for some more videos, and I'll see you next time.